The setting, United States, Washington State. As you can see, we got clear, sunny skies across the entire country. We were anticipating a week of stormy weather. So I'd like to apologize for being so off the mark. I think someone else is like watching this and they're like, please, Merle, no more weird like outbursts. Oh yeah, she did have one. I remember that. And she continues, but hold on to your hats here, folks, as we are expecting some strong winds. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? Oh, I get it. I get it.
He did what All Might did.
Yeah, he cleared the weather. Yes, the gusts that blew that day. It shows an image of this is the second page, by the way. This is Deku, hands raised up after he had socked the hell out of like All For One. Anyway, the gusts that blew that day came in the wake of a great battle. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but he's the Egyptian hero. He was like 2D. He's a Paper Mario character, actually.
Truly, he is 2D. He's like the manga guy, except even more so.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like he's talking to Cementos. Bring that here, won't you? And Cementos, sure. I appreciate the help. Stay tuned for updates on what sorts of effects we'll be seeing from that. It's a panel with
two kids that Uraraka saved.
Really? Oh, I totally forgot about this one. So it's a panel with them as they're running out just freely. You know, no one's like in the God, I'm at a loss for words this morning. But they are you know what? Let's move on. Look, our house got built, they say. Yeah, it just sprang up as quick as a bamboo. 1 week has passed. The restoration efforts that had stalled after the Jakku conflict picked up back up at a breakneck pace. So each panel just showing like reconstruction and at work. With the battles over, the United States and many other nations showed up with an outpouring of support and resources. The next panel here, I don't recognize his hero.
I think is his name Red Dot? Is that what they called him?
I think it's one of like Japan's heroes for sure, because I think I recognize him from one of the rankings, but that was a while back. Salon, by the way, was the 2D one, but Big Red Dot. Yeah, there we go. After seeing their wild fight, we couldn't just sit back and do nothing. I don't know what he's splashing out at the report right here, but all right. We have construction work here. Survey Bureau lent us the plans and blueprints, so we can start rebuilding whatever's on the docket. And a little small bit of text here. It's all been cleared with the Building Standards Act. Here you go. And I don't know what. Wait, did he just?
Like, I'm wondering if that's like a 3D hologram to build on, or if that's like he's actually just
building it. I'm not sure. Does the next page show? No, it does not. But man, dude, if he really just made a building, but more or less, if he just projected like the blueprints of a building, then that's also very useful too. So everyone's still jumping in for construction before the advent of the exceptional restoration, the advent of the exceptional restoration on a similar scale would have taken it over a decade.
It's that cool lightning hero from America.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And if you look in the back, you see a man on top of that thing over there, and you can see a close up of him. That's Koichi.
Ain't no way that's him. I mean, yeah, actually, actually, I can see him now.
The Crowler.
Was it the Crowler or was it the Crawler? I forget which one. I think he had a name change or.
I know it's one or the other. It's either the Crawler or the Crowler.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Vigilantes is the side-off manga taking place prior to the events of My Hero here. So crazy that he's like still around and he finally got a cameo.
Yeah, and of course there's also the UA students who are working with the other heroes.
As we get like a nice wide shot of like the region. And I believe that's Fuji right there, Mount Fuji. Still a lot of reconstruction over there since that's where most of the battle took place at the end, if I recall. We got a lot of rubble here, more construction at hand. But with so many capable quirks devoted to the effort, it shouldn't be long before things... ...
This dude.
Yeah. You remember Club Penguin looking at it?
This is such thumbnail material.
Yeah. He finishes the sentence here. Won't ever be back to normal. And obviously he's a doctor, so it means something else. So changes the setting to one of the hospitals, and the next panel is Bakugo and his parents, as Club Penguin continues. As I explained prior to the surgery, this is the best thing we can hope for. I promise you we did all we could, especially after seeing your son's exploits. So you can see Bakugo, he's in like a hospital chair. He's pretty much intact except for his right arm.
That thing was fucked, so it makes sense.
Yeah. A great number of bone segments had been joined and set. and I can't guarantee that any amount of rehabilitation will give him give him back the use of the arm. And we have a little tiny panel of Mirko, actually.
Yeah, he's not saying it's impossible, but he's saying it's unlikely.
Yeah. If he's determined, he continues, to work as a hero, he could consider a prosthetic like Mirko's. And Mirko's, like, back when she, like, had her own, like, injuries. Yeah, rehab? Nah, screw it. Lob it off.
That sounds like her.
Mirko before the final battle. But Baku's like, nah, forget that.
Does Bakugo? Because my quirk comes from my palms. And you see his mom says, Katsuki. Plus, as he's holding onto his cast, he never even had one. He's just about Izuku, who never had a quirk. And he says, give me that rehab. Bring on the pain. The sooner the better.
All right.
Mr. Penguin says, no. Only low effort exercise for now. Gah! Bakugo said, gah! And then you see Mr. Penguin, or Club Penguin Man here says, more than your arm, the problem is your heart. You'd be dead without Edshot's masterful suturing, which helped restart your heart and lungs. I have no idea how you managed to keep fighting in that state. And I'm frankly flabbergasted that you blasted your way across several kilometers after that. He's like, and he said you were even given a second shot at life, and you heeded the call. In any case, my only prescription for now is bed rest.
Well deserved.
That's a fair argument.
Yeah.
That's a fair argument.
Also, I like the fact that, like, you know, the prosthetics are not going to help him. That's not how the quirk works. So he has to go through rehab.
And if I'm not mistaken, I thought the quirk kind of evolved to where just his sweat beads in general now were containing the explosion factor.
I guess so. So, I mean, maybe that's not, like, outright refuted, but, you know, his mobility is definitely still kind of shaky.
Yeah, like his hands are still, like, the majority of it, I would say.
Yeah.
And we see here, are you awake? And we see Izuku and All Might are sharing a hospital room.
Oh my god.
Izuku, what are the odds we'd end up side by side, All Might? And they say, All Might, Tsukachi arranged it this way. Then we see Izuku, then back to All Might. They're short on rooms, and this makes life easier for the guards. To Izuku, how are you feeling? Back to All Might. They said they'd never had to use quite so many bolts to cobble someone back together.
Jesus.
How about you, Midoriya, kid? I'm getting back. Izuku, I'm getting back some feeling in my arms. Izuku staring up at the ceiling. I couldn't save Tenko's life, even after reaching into his heart and shattering that hatred. There was the moment where he, like, his arms got blown off in the space.
Yeah.
Then the moment where his fist connected with All for One's hand. Tenko remained the League of Villains leader to the very end. And this is All Might speaking as someone who went through a near-death experience. I want you to ask yourself, what was the look on his face in the end? As Izuku's thinking back, it's already been destroyed. That's what he told Shigaraki. Oh yeah? That depends on what you people decide to do tomorrow. We see Shigaraki, and before he faded away, make sure you do your damn best.
So he had more to say prior to, like, the ending from last chapter.
We see that All Might's still talking to him, assuming he didn't still look like that crying kid. Then you did save him. His soul, anyway. We see all the vestiges, and you did your duty to One for All. You passed it on, right? I felt it happening. This is Izuku. Yeah, but
the next
right, this should be you.
The door slides open for their room, and it's Bakugo, and his parents are trying to stop him because he obviously needs to go to bed. Izuku's still continuing his sentence. I can still feel the ember smoldering inside. Bakugo's mom, how the hell are you up and about? Bakugo just kind of looking out, and Degu's like, Kachan, you're okay. Sorry about him, All Might. He was just worried about you. You too, Deku. Sorry. And Bakugo's like,
it must be his parents.
Yeah. Wait, the ember? Huh? What, you mean you're... And Deku just smiles at him. And it cuts
He's
to...
putting the pieces together.
Yeah, he's lining the pieces up here. And it shows that little flashback of them, like, sharing the same, like, All Might pole. So he says, you're quirkless again? Izuku's like, yep, but, never had a quirk in the first place, so can't be too broken up about it. Besides, I couldn't have transferred.
It's such a Goku attitude about it, though.
Yeah, he's like, besides, I couldn't have transferred it without wanting to. My time with it gave me a glimpse of the most amazing dream.
Oh.
It's to the side of Bakugo's, like, busted up arm in a cast.
He's thinking about all the times that he bullied Izuku.
And he kind of looks kind of helpless or hopeless right now.
Like distraught.
Don't you dare let me surpass you, Izuku. And that was like his last words before like he passed it off to Izuku to finish All for One off. Oh no! Next page is Mako. He's actually tearing up. He's like,
My homie.
and the next page is Izuku. One eye, the only eye that is actually like one's covered up, the other one's exposed. That exposed one pops up at him. He's like, "What? Watch out!"
What?
I was like, "No, no, no. I mean, what the hell did I do to you? Oh no, he's breaking down." I guess I thought we were competing, and I'd be like on your heels for the rest of our lives. Izuku's like, hey, cut that out. This isn't like you. I still got the Emperor for now. Look, being all banged up must be making you emotionally vulnerable. And then All Might, the two of you have grown so strong. You're so different from the day we met. Midoriya kid, when I saw you diving into the fray that day, you were already a great hero as far as I was concerned. But now, the way you're encouraging the world to get back up on its feet, now you're a great hero to all of them too. And you, probably talking to Baku as it just cuts to him, you made darn sure I'd still be around to say those things. You hear me, Bakugo kid? To my pair of great heroes, I say thank you. When I was little, I thought that when the big battle was won, peace would be restored to the world. Just like that. However, and not to neglect all the panels here, obviously, there was two panels of Bako and Deku just kind of like smile crying. However, and that shows an image of, I think that's Shoto, and he's just kind of looking off. We don't really get to see his expression.
What are those pieces?
We see pieces just kind of, I don't even know what those are.
Is that Dabi?
Damn. That's all I can really say about the boy. If that's Dabi, wow.
Or at least like pieces that broke off of him, maybe? I don't know.
Okay, maybe. It doesn't really like extrapolate on much with that panel. And moreover, it just cuts to another panel. It's Araka looking out. She's grabbing her side. That was the point where she got stabbed. Mm-hmm. Our tale, as I think Deku continues, our tale doesn't end here. It can't. The fight may be over, but until we lead the way to a bright future. And it cuts to Deku. He got that fresh cut. I mean, could.
People weren't liking it, but here's the thing. I don't dislike it.
I don't dislike it. I think, it's just simply part of like just what he had to kind of go through at the end.
It's character development.
I'll say more, but let's just read this last bit. He looks out at UA with all of his classmates, almost all of them, if anything. He has his last line right here. We got to go further beyond. Number 424, epilogue. To be continued.
That's why I say, like, I think we are quite literally, like, this is just saying, hey, we go do a little bit more and then we're done.
Fair enough. In fact, I can confirm that the next chapter, according to Shonen Jump, is going to be available within the week. It's still the same schedule for the most part. Obviously, there's a lot of questions to be had as far as, like, how are the academic curriculars going to be, like, come back?
Izuku, they might have had to shave his head to put the half of that side of it. They gave him, like, the side shave. I think it's because, like, maybe they had to attend to his wounds that were on his face.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what kind of injury it was, but more than likely they had to shave it off just to do maybe some stitching.
Someone said it might be symbolic because, like, you can see like half of his freckles are gone.
Ah, damn.
And like Uraraka doesn't have her blushies anymore.
Oh, well, I don't know about that one. That
I heard someone say that it could be interpreted maybe as like a loss of their innocence from the war. I was like, I can see that.
Horikoshi, the way he's like designed these characters and the battle damage that they have, it's always been like a permanent thing for them.
The character design.
And with Deku, he's been slowly accruing these scars from like the times he uses 100%, and then you even see it on other characters too, which means like he's not the only one who's like out there like risking his life. I mean, you see Mirio, and you like when he like has his shirt off, you see like there's all these different like scars on him, and you kind of like make a connection between him and Deku that in that regard. But obviously, Deku here gets a lot of scars.
Someone said, "Watch." He's gonna find out that when their fists touched when they destroyed All for One, that Shigaraki transferred it back.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, you know what? I didn't even imagine that, but that's actually a good thing to point out. I'm not sure.
I said he could. I think Horikoshi could do that. I don't know if he will.
I don't know, because considering the fact that he already had an opportunity to kind of showcase what the ending was intentionally, and now having a new ending where it looks like he wants to kind of like carry the same message across, it leaves a stronger message if he remained quirkless. But if it was Shigaraki passing it on the way that he kind of did unintentionally, then I can also see that too.
I'm just now wondering. It's hard to say, but I still say maybe 10, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, you're still saying like the epilogue, like arc, if you will, or the Return to
Yeah, it's like
Academia arc is going to be a couple chapters where they're going to probably establish like what the new goals are.
now that it's all over, I mean, the ship can be
The
confirmed.
ship, yeah, you know what, you're right. I laugh at that, but I'm like, no, please carry that.
I would at least like to see whether I'll even take a handhold. I'll take a hand holding.
I'll take just a friendly outing.
I will take at least let Izuku and Uraraka be happy at the end of it.
The moment we bring that into the fray, I can't help but imagine that like out of everything that we've seen, this last bit in regards to shipping is when the fans just kind of go like haywire.
We still have one thing left. Horikoshi said we'd see it before the series ends.
Oh, Deku's dad.
Papa! I can tell you, it's gonna be one of three things. His dad's gonna look super normal, super cool, or super goofy. But I'm very curious to see where this goes. I'm curious to see how our characters are gonna wrap up their story before it's time to finally say it's the end.
It might be a very consistent weekly schedule until we reach the very end. But as far as like the main conflicts, the biggest one has been done. So we'll be jumping in. We'll still be covering the rest of the manga and just see where it goes from there. But all right, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for
Sir.
tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one. #bye, everybody.